For our next Member Spotlight interview, we're going to be sitting down with Randy Braverman. Randy is Vice Chair of Professional Development, as well as an Associate Member of the Chicago Chapter of IFMA. Thanks so much for making time for us today, Randy. I appreciate it.
I appreciate Drew for interviewing me. I really enjoy IFMA. I love this interview.
Good. Well, I know you've got a busy morning, so why don't we go ahead and dive into some questions if you're ready?
Sure.
Okay, great. Well, first, tell me a little bit about your day job.
Well, I love my job because I meet so many interesting people because I work with schools, government entities, I work with corporations, I work with businesses, libraries, park districts, creating emergency crisis plans, training on really intense emergency preparedness like active shooter, and conducting physical security assessments for buildings. So I see so many different people across the United States.
Yeah, one, you already shared a little bit of this. Is there something about your role that you'd say is particularly unique or challenging?
Yeah, I believe that we have to keep up with the laws on safety and security. The new laws come out every year on different things from corporations to schools, and also best practices. We have to learn all the best practices that's going on in different emergencies. So we always have to keep up on that.
Sure, I imagine. So to dig into IFMA a little bit, who introduced you to IFMA, or what brought you to the chapter?
Sure, when I retired in 2017, started working with the FEA company. We had some people actually working with IFMA across the United States, nationally, internationally, and they told me about IFMA. And then really the person who really got me involved with the Chicago chapter was Mike Joyce.
Oh, sure.
Mike was on the board, and Mike and his wife and myself worked together at a school district. When I retired, she said I should look up Mike. When I talked to Mike, he talked to me about Chicago IFMA, how wonderful it is, and then introduced me to Chicago IFMA.
Absolutely. I know Mike really well. He's a good guy and certainly a good ambassador for the chapter.
Yeah. Yep.
So you may have said, how long have you been a member?
About a little over 3 years.
Okay. Do you happen to remember your first meeting?
I do. It was a lunch presentation. I came there, and this is why I love IFMA. It was so friendly. Everybody came up to me because they knew I was a new member, talked to me, introduced everybody to me. And I remember going home in my car and thinking to myself, what a great meeting that was. I learned stuff, but the people were so friendly to me and introduced everybody and came up to me. That was great because I've been in a lot of organizations and not everybody comes up to you and talks to you, but there was like 100 people and everybody introduced themselves and came up.
Yeah, so, I agree. Very welcoming. Are the lunch meetings your favorite kind of Chicago chapter event? Is there a different event that you enjoy more?
I like the golf outing. Obviously, everybody says golf outing, but I do like the Zoom meetings now. I mean, we can't have lunch meetings, but the Zoom meeting is really good because you still see everybody, talk to people, and you're learning a lot still. So I think it's good to have those Zoom meetings.
Yes, indeed. Well, obviously, I know you volunteer for the chapter from your spot on professional development. What do you like most about volunteering?
Well, you get to see the behind the scenes of IFMA because you see all the people that's on the committees, you see all the people that are on the board, and so many great things they're doing for IFMA, how such a great professional, organization, and helping people with different charities and helping people trying to get jobs. Like now in 2020, people are losing their jobs, and the boards and the chapters trying to think of ways that we could help people to see out there how to get people jobs and help people. So I just love the volunteer work with IFMA.
Yeah, absolutely. So to ask behind the scenes a little bit, have you taken on any new hobbies or projects at home during the pandemic?
I'm not a big project guy because I'm not very handy.
That's what me too.
I took on, which last year there was not much to do. We couldn't go to health clubs. I used to go to work out a lot. Is I started walking, which I never did before. I never just walked all over the place. So I just started walking a lot. So that was kind of my hobby, that every day I wanted to make sure I did a half hour of walking.
That's great. Well, it's funny. Manuel Rodriguez was my last interview. He said pretty much the exact same thing, kind of getting out, walking, staying active. So I think that's going to be a common answer for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Has there been a book or a movie or a song that has kind of been your breakout during the quarantine?
Yeah, I like the song from Room 5. It's called Memories. I don't know if you listened to it, but it's talking about all the people you missed.
Sure.
And the last 3 years I had it rough because I lost two of my brothers. And so that kind of brings memories back to them when you're listening to that song. So I thought it was a great song just to listen to that and remember everybody that you missed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Then again, to ask about your position, is there something that you see or you're looking forward to in 2021 coming down the road?
I'm hoping that we could get back to getting in-person meetings. I had an in-person meeting yesterday, and it was great because just to get people in person and talk to. And I love to go to conferences, and I speak a lot of conferences. And so I'm looking forward to going back to speaking at conferences and attending conferences. So I'm hoping we could do that this year.
Yeah, I think things are looking good, and I think we're all looking forward to that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, very good, Randy. That's all the questions I've got for you. Thanks again for making time for us today. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you.